Hello and welcome to Lou's Leather. Today I'm going to walk you through the steps I used to make this custom leather conceal and carry holster. How I made a holster. I started with a piece of 4-ounce veg tan. I skived the edge, rolled it back, and stitched it. The leather was then cased overnight. I used a bone folder in my fingers to work the leather into the desired shape. This takes time and patience. I then began to cut away the leather to allow relief for the leather to lay flat. I'm trying to keep the top edge level for the rolled edge seam. Here I'm cutting away more leather so it will lay flat for vacuum forming. You want to try to get your piece to lay as flat as possible before vacuum forming. After it's formed, I continued to shape in the vacuum bag. The piece was allowed to sit in the vacuum bag overnight. Then again with more shaping and smoothing. I used a glass slicker to smooth the flat spots. I then used a pen body that I split in half to build a channel for the sight on the gun. Here I'm re-stretching the side for the sight channel. I probably could have done this the first time around, but this way it allowed me to gain the detail of where the cartridge ejects from the gun. Now I'm making the back piece for the holster. Here I'm testing fit up. This piece will be the pigskin lining to cover the snapbacks and the bulk of the stitches. Here I'm notching around the corners so that when I glue and roll back, there won't be added layer bulk and it will lay flat. You want to be liberal with the usage of the glue because you want this to stick. Here I'm scribing where my stitches will go. Now I'm making the straps. I use gum trag and coarse canvas to slick the edges. This takes a lot of elbow grease. You want to burnish your edges until they're smooth. Now I'm punching the holes for the snaps. Here you can see all the pieces for the holster. I like to burnish before completion because you have a lot more flat surfaces to work with. Now I glue down the back piece to the holster. I use a stitching wheel to mark my starts and stops. Here I'm performing a stitch that ultimately I'll end up removing. This is the outside stitch that I wasn't supposed to stitch at first. This is what will hold on the pigskin lining. The inside stitches are the ones that I'm performing here, that will be covered by the pigskin lining. After the back is stitched to the formed piece, I set the snaps and the straps. Then I laminated the pigskin to the back of the holster to cover up the snapbacks and the stitches. Now I can finish the final outside stitch. These two stitches will be the only two exposed on the pigskin side. Now it's time for final dye, some oil, and some photography. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, rate, or subscribe. I'm not saying this is how it's done. This is just how I did it.